good morning. It's Zoe here, and happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope that if you are celebrating today, you're getting some time off, maybe with friends and family, maybe some time to hang out with me and do this yoga practice for flexibility. Today's practice is inspired by the Yoga Burn Monthly Ultimate Collection, which is on sale for 70% off. It's a journey through all of the amazing styles of yoga. Well, the 6 main styles of yoga: Hatha, Restorative, Ashtanga, Kundalini, Iyengar, and Vinyasa Yoga. These are gorgeous styles of yoga, and a lot of us forget that yoga is actually just a broad umbrella term that covers a huge variety of different styles. So today's class is going to be inspired by Hatha. Hatha in Sanskrit translates to sun, moon, and so it's all about kind of that balance. What I love about Hatha yoga is it works on flexibility and strength. It works on pushing yourself and surrendering. It works on finding that balance that I think really embodies the true essence of yoga, is finding that balance. It's not all just flexibility, it's not all just strength, it's not all just breath work, it's not all mindfulness, it's all of those things combined. So I hope that you will join me in this short little practice. It's gonna feel great. We are outside in sunny Florida today, and it's really, really bright and sunny, so I'm gonna do my best to make sure that you can see me, and it seems like you guys can hear me okay. I've got my AirPods in, so you don't need anything for today's practice. A yoga mat would be ideal, but if you don't have a yoga mat, you could just use a towel or a soft surface. And let's go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we are going to start seated. Yeah, I see lots of hearts coming in. That's great. So we're gonna start sitting. I really like to start in a kneeling position. Sometimes I find starting cross-legged a little bit too much for the hips. But really any position that's comfortable for you. So if kneeling like this is too much on the knees, then feel free to sit like this or like this. You can even prop a pillow underneath the hips if needed. Find a comfortable seat. Close down the eyes. And start to circle the head around. And as you inhale, your head comes over to one side, the chin points up. As you exhale, the chin comes down and over to the other side. I like to start with the head and neck because so many of us hold tension up here, especially if we're on our phones a lot. Switch directions, inhaling and exhaling. Come to center. Give the shoulders a little roll up, back, and down, and then allow the shoulders to naturally soften back and down away from the ears. The very crown, top of the head is pulling upwards to the sky as the shoulders melt down the back. Bring your hands to your belly, and as you inhale, let the belly fully soften. As you exhale, the navel gently draws in towards the spine. This quiet moment is just a time to set an intention for our practice. Today, my intention is going to be to focus on the pose, how the pose feels, rather than how it looks. Just really getting into the nooks and crannies of the body and releasing the tension. Come to center. Bring the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips at all fours. We're going to start with a little bit of core activation. So ensuring that our navel is drawing in towards the spine. We're going to inhale and reach the left leg long, the right arm long. Exhale, slide everything back to center. Switch sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. We're doing our best to not let the hips rock side to side. Just shifting side to side with your own breath. One more each side. Nice. Okay, next time the right arm is extended and the left leg, hold and breathe. So we're working to pull the ribs in, activating the core, driving back through the heel. Think about stretching out as long as you can. Release, same thing, other side, extend, stretching the arm forward, pulling the core in, strong press through that right arm, right hand. And releasing all the way back down. From there, curl the toes under, lift the hips high for our first downward facing dog. Walk your dog, which just means bending one leg, straightening the other, kind of letting the hips move side to side. Finding stillness and breathing for a few, just allowing the heels to soften towards the mat. The head hang heavy, and then we're going to ragdoll, roll one vertebrae at a time all the way up to stand, giving the shoulders a nice roll. Half sun salutation to start getting us nice and warm. So standing tall towards the top of your mat, line your feet up underneath your hips, draw your core in. As we inhale, we're going to send the arms to the sky. As we exhale, we're going to dive forward over the legs. Breathe in and lift halfway to a flat back. Breathe out and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Connect the palms. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Try that same thing one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out and soften. Rise all the way up. Connect the palms. Hands down through heart center. This time we're going to move through a full sun salutation. Adding on. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, bow. Lengthen first as we inhale. This time, hold the breath in. Palms to the mat. Step back to plank. Lower the knees for now. And then lower your belly all the way down to the mat. 3 times, little baby cobra pose. Slide your fingers back so they're in line with the center of the chest. Pinch the shoulder blades together. Hug the elbows in and inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften. Twice more, just like that. Inhaling. Exhale it down. Once more. Push up to the knees and back to a child's pose. Bring your toes close together, open your knees wide, and just melt your chest down to the mat. Melt your forehead down to the mat. Stay low and walk both hands over to the right side of your mat, really connecting the left palm, and pull your hips over to the left. So you're feeling that length all down the left side of your back. Walk the hands over to the other side. Connect the right palm and draw your hips over to the right side. So you're really pressing down, you're anchoring down and pulling the hips away from that anchor to get that stretch all down the side. Back to center. Inhale, curling up. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths in our downward facing dog. Inhale to step the feet up between the hands, nice long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Rise to stand, connect the palms. Hands down through heart center. Let's take our first balance pose, which is going to be a tree pose. So stand nice and tall at the top of your mat. Connect your left foot to the ground. Your right foot is going to come somewhere along the leg. It can be at your ankle, your calf, your inner thigh, or you could even try a little more advanced and bring the outer edge of your foot up to the hip crease and the knee points down. From there, one or both hands come to heart center. We're working to open that right knee. Carefully release down. Connect the right foot, spreading out the toes. Left foot, ankle, calf, inner thigh, or hip crease. I love this variation of tree because it really gets into the hip flexor. My knee is just feeling a little grouchy about that on this side. Nope, not going to happen. And normally I always suggest that you do the same thing on both sides, except when there's pain. So my knee, for whatever reason today, was just not into that on this left side. So I modified, and it's a little different on this side. Not the end of the world. What's more important is that you honor yourself and keep your body safe. One more breath on this side. Nice. Slowly finding center. Both feet connect to the mat. Stand tall. Let's flow into a standing leg series to build strength and flexibility. Inhale, circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Lengthen. Hold the breath in, step back. Exhale either all the way down in cobra or halfway down and upward facing dog. You choose. Exhale, curl or press back into downward facing dog. Send your right leg high and step the right foot up between the hands. Rising all the way up into a runner's lunge. Send the arms to the sky. We're going to inhale and get long. Exhale and pull your arms down to your sides like you're opening your wings, sending your chest to the sky. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms forward, come all the way up. Exhale, pull back and down. time you're here, stay with the elbows bent for a moment. Open the chest, tuck the bum under, really pressing that left hip forward. And then we're going to spin onto the back foot so it's nice and flat, and extend the arms out wide for a warrior two. Lunging deep into the front knee, pressing the outer edge of that back foot down. Extended side angle. Reach forward, bring your forearm to your thigh and the left arm overhead. So we're pressing our hips forward, leaning the shoulders back, opening up the chest. We can stay here, we can extend the left arm overhead. And you can see how I'm taking the easy way out here, but we want to lunge down into that front leg to really build the strength. So while we're building that flexibility, that heat in the body, we're also building the strength. Circle that left arm all the way overhead, and then bring the left hand down to the mat. Pivot on your back foot, revolved lunge. Send your right arm high to the sky, turning to face that right side. Good. Bring both hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank and hold. 3 full breaths in our plank pose. Each exhale, you're pulling your navel up and in towards your spine. Inhale, we plank. Exhale, your variation of a vinyasa, either halfway down and upward facing dog, or all the way down and cobra, then into down dog. Let's try the other leg. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left foot up between the hands. Rolling up. Arms overhead. So we're working, rather than letting the hips poke out behind us, we're drawing the hips forward, tucking the bum under so the tailbone points straight down, and then lunging deep into that front knee from there. Both hips square to the front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, circle forward and up. Exhale, pull. Open the heart. Feels so good. Next time you're here, stay. Lean back. Lift the head slightly. And warrior two. Turn onto the outer edge of that back foot, lunging deep into the front thigh, stretching our arms out wide with a big open chest. And the core is still turned on. A mistake I used to make in this pose was letting the hips poke out and the core be soft. Instead, press the hips forward and pull the core in. Then get tall and long from that place. Reach forward, left forearm to thigh, right arm overhead. Stay there or extend your side angle. Bring the right hand to the mat. Pivot on the back foot, revolved lunge. Twisting for the health of our spine, health of our organs. Bring both hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Hold and breathe. Pulling the core in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale through your variation of vinyasa. From here, we're gonna move right into pigeon pose. So we're gonna stretch our right leg high. This time, turn the hips so they open to the right wall and bend your right knee. So you're pressing your chest towards your thigh, just letting that leg reach back behind us. Then come on forward, right knee to right wrist. Glide the hips back. Pigeon pose. This is like a love-hate pose for a lot of people. For me, it's a love. I have always loved pigeon pose. But if it's not a love for you, you can always pull the foot in closer to the hips. That makes it a little bit more comfortable, okay? But if you want to really work deep into the hip, having your foot up a little higher while keeping your hips square to the front edge of your mat is going to really intensify the posture, okay? Pigeon, it's up here. When you feel ready to deepen the stretch, you can slowly melt forward. I always say like you're getting into a hot tub or a hot bath. You want to kind of take your time rather than jumping your whole body in at once and just melt into it. I really like to support the head in this pose to ensure we're not letting the head hang forward. So you can stack your fists and rest your forehead there. Or just rest your head on your hands or the mat. We're going to take 5 super long, slow breaths right here. Carefully rise up, bring the left leg forward and around and to the outside of your right thigh. Let your hip come down onto the mat. Hug with your right arm, circle with your left arm, and take a seated twist. If this is too intense, feel free to just straighten out the bottom leg. That's going to make it a little bit easier, okay? Only you know what's right today. Like every day is different. Some days this feels great for me. Other days I want to have the bottom leg straight. The main thing with the twist is that we're rooting down through the sits bones, growing tall through the spine, and taking the twist from the upper and mid back. The low back stays flat. Both feet to the mat. Let's take a little boat pose. Now, a variation I've been liking since having my C-section is a modified boat. So hold on to the back of the thighs, sit up super tall, lifting the chest, and then come onto just the balls of the feet and the toes and lean back slightly, lifting the chest. If that feels okay, then we can try lifting the legs. But if it doesn't feel okay, then bring the tippy toes back down, just for a little bit of extra support. You could also try having the arms extended alongside your body with the palms facing up. Hold and breathe. Little bit of core to fire us back up again after we slow down in a more restorative posture. Bring that heat back into the body. Try opening your arms out to the sides a little more. Ooh, that's making my abs shake. upward facing dog, or cobra, downward facing dog. Same flow, other side. With the left leg high, turn the hips to the left wall, letting the knee bend. Come on forward, knee to wrist, gliding back for our pigeon on the other side. Take some time to stay tall. A lot of times we tend to rush to the forward lying version of this posture, but I think it's really important to give gravity, just time to pull the hips down. As much as this is about the left hip, it's about the front of our right hip too. So stay tall for a moment, and then if you truly feel like you need more, that's when we start to slowly come forward and down. Another cool variation I love is pressing my thumbs into the space between the brows, because you can really just let your head kind of rest right there and get a nice massage through a pressure point. And just kind of gliding my thumbs down along my brow bone. Boat pose, one more time. Grab onto the backs of the thighs, roll the shoulders back and down, lift and open the heart, maybe play with lifting the legs, maybe play with stretching the arms out and even opening them out to the sides. But even though the arms are out, we're not reaching forward and rounding the spine, we're pulling the arms back in to the shoulder sockets, lifting and opening through the chest. Feel like a little more. Start kicking the legs out. We're getting close to the end, so use your last little bit of energy. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Come all the way up. We're going to lay down on our backs. I'm just going to spin around so you have a better view. Slowly roll down, one vertebrae at a time, reaching the arms and the legs out long. Bend the knees. We're going to bring the feet onto the mat for a bridge pose. Feet are hip width distance apart. Curl through the pubic bone, pressing it up to the sky. Bridge pose. We can stay here with the hands or clasp the hands beneath us and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Unclasp the hands, roll down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to cross the right leg over the left and draw the legs in towards the body. One of my favorite twists, keeping the legs in this position, drop them over to the left connecting that right foot to the mat or floor and opening this hip. So rather than letting the knee fall in, open the hip, extend the right arm out long. Come back to center, switch sides. Left ankle crosses over. Draw the legs up for a nice little squeeze. Then bring the legs across the body, grounding the left foot, sending the left arm out. Come back to center. Hug the knees in, letting the lumbar spine soften into the mat. One at a time, bringing the feet down to the floor. You can either pyramid the legs, letting the knees fall in with the feet grounded, or send the legs out long. Arms relax out to the sides, rock the head side to side. Soften everything big, inhale nose. Exhale mouth. And then down. Now letting the breath just naturally roll in and out of the body. Shavasana. This is the moment when all the benefits of our practice seep into the body. Like we're just letting the tea steep here, letting it all kind of marinate before we get moving again. This little brief pause. So important. So see if you can really just give it to yourself. Just give that stillness. Wiggling the fingers and toes, extend the arms overhead. One at a time, bringing the feet to the mat. We can roll over to one side. And carefully press ourselves all the way up to a comfortable seat. Back where we started at the beginning of practice. Palms down on your thighs, and palms up is more showing kind of openness and receptivity. Palms down is more symbolizing that we're kind of sealed in. We're really kind of protecting our boundaries and our energy. So on a day like Monday, I think it's important to know that you can have the ability to say no to things. You have the ability to steer this day in whatever direction feels right for us. Let's seal in our practice with one final breath together. Inhale the arms overhead, connecting the palms. Exhale the hands down through center, bowing forward in gratitude for this practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed. I know I sure did. I got my crazy hair to prove it. It is such a glorious, beautiful day today. I just want to see if any comments came in that I need to address. Lots of you saying I'm loving the live, so that's awesome. I've definitely been doing a lot more live practices with you guys and workouts. They are so amazing. So I'm gonna leave you with this beautiful view. Let's turn it around. Here's the ocean. Okay. And it's just a little bit tricky for me to show you this while I am doing the practice. But this is such a beautiful day, and I hope some of this warm, sunny energy can help support you because it's absolutely glorious. So have a great rest of your day. Be sure to take advantage of our special sale that we are running, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye-bye.